On the Road with Whitman Hanson Community Access. I'm your host, Kevin Tocci. Today, we have traveled back to Whitman Center. Yes, Whitman Center. And there's a new establishment. Now, this is a different kind. This isn't just an eatery. I think it's a little bit of everything. We're going to go inside. Name of the place is called Tea Time Cookies. Yes, Tea Time Cookies. And I think the title says it all. We'll go inside and meet the couple that opened this shop just, a couple of months ago. Let's go inside and find out what Tea Time Cookies is all about. Welcome inside of Tea Time Cookies, as you're seeing a little bit of some of the things that are for sale when you walk into Tea Time Cookies. And I'm with Danielle Tierney. She is one of the duo of Danielle and Carl, her husband, who we'll get to a little bit later. But talk to us about some of the goodies that we have here in front of us.
We have scone, cranberry scone, blueberry, cinnamon raisin, cinnamon. We have also cookies. We have chocolate chip cookie, white chocolate chip cookie, shortbread, oatmeal. We have this cookie. That's a new one.
Okay.
And peanut butter.
Oh. And what store do you buy these at?
I make from scratch.
No way. And where do you do that?
For me.
Okay. You
Yes.
make
I
them back
do.
there?
I do that right here in my little kitchen.
Wow. And that's where the magic happens?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been in business? And how did it come to that you were going to put this together, Tea Time Cookies?
Because the tea is for the tea, the time is for all the clock we have, and the cookies for the cookies.
Okay. But what made you want to open up a store in downtown Whitman?
We just stopped because we have a lot of clock, and we want to sell the clock, and also we like tea and cookies, and I say, okay, let's do something together. So we put all the table, and we start a little bit just with couple kind of cookies, and I kept growing and growing, and customer they like it. I kept making.
And so you just thought, let's open a store in downtown Whitman, and put the three things together, and see how people would like it. How has it been received? Talk to us about some of the customers when they walk in for the first time, and see all the clocks on the wall, and then see all the goodies that you have here.
Yes, also the customer when they come, they're coming back. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I'm making soup also
Okay.
every day.
What kind of soup? What do we have? What do we have for soup today?
Today is a cream of broccoli and chicken,
Okay.
chicken soup.
Okay.
And in the morning also I serve French toast and Belgian waffle.
Wow. And now, where did the idea to do the Belgian waffles? Where did that come from?
I just want to make something for breakfast, but I don't want to make egg and get involved with all that. That's too much, I know. And I have the thing, so that's so easy to make it.
And what are the hours? Are you open 7 days a week, 6 days a week? How many days a week are you open?
I'm open Monday to Friday, 8 to 6, Saturday, 8 to 2. But if I have customer, I stay with them. They hear the relax, enjoy the music, enjoy the tea, and the cookies.
Now, is it just one flavor of tea, or do you have multiple flavors of tea?
I have multiple
Okay. And what is your favorite type of tea?
Irish.
Oh, okay. And what is it about the Irish tea that you like?
Is very strong and is very good.
Now, tell us a little bit about your husband, Carl, before we have him come over and talk to us a little while, because he's your partner in this whole thing.
Oh, he's wonderful and he's so handy. He make all those clock and he's very crafty and he's really good. He can make almost anything out of wood, any kind of wood.
Okay. But you have a part in this as well. You can't just say that it's all him. From what I understand, someone has a good eye and a good hand from looking at some drawings and some of the other things that are in this establishment.
Yes, all like the cartoon character and some they are painting. I do the cartoon character and the painting.
All freehand, or you tracing?
All freehand, no tracing, no stencil.
Wow. And what would you say is the proudest piece of work that you and your husband have put equal time into?
the proud. We're really proud of that, and I hope people enjoy. And because each clock is different and very unique, and when we make a clock, if we make another one exactly the same, it won't be exactly the same. You always have a little something different.
So you're saying is that a lot of these clocks are very unique.
They are unique.
Why don't we bring Carl over for a few minutes to talk with him about some of these creations that we're going to walk around and take a look at shortly. Now, what you're seeing right now is one of the creations done by this gentleman who's standing next to me. His name is Carl Tierney, as we were speaking with Danielle just a moment ago. Talk to us about this store that has your signature on it as well.
Well, it's just something I've done since I got out of school was a hobby of making clocks. So these are the ones I've made through the years, and my wife helps me do it. She does all the cartoon characters and all the artwork.
Why clocks? What is it about making clocks and different designs and shapes and figures and using different materials to craft these?
Well, I've been a cabinet maker, a carpenter all my life, and in school I made my first grandmother clock, and ever since that I've been making them. I just like making stuff out of wood, that's all.
Now, I asked Danielle what it was to have the three things together, the tea, the pastries, or tea cookies, and the clocks. What was it that led you to come to downtown Whitman to open a little place to showcase all of the clocks that you've made and even some of the things that she makes by hand on a daily basis?
Well, I grew up in Whitman. After I graduated from school, I moved to Whitman. Then in '92, I went to Florida, and that's where I met my wife. And for 17 years, I lived in Florida, and I just recently came back a year ago, and we just thought it would be a nice town to open up a small little tea shop with all the clocks in it.
What would be the most unique clock that we have here that people would look at and go, wow, is there a particular clock that you put a lot of thought into and some of the people who come in here go, wow, I can't believe you made something like that?
Yeah, the toilet seat clock.
For the person who has
No,
everything.
a lot of them. This one here is one of them I like. I've made a few of those, all different colors and different kinds of wood.
What's the idea behind having the multi-mirrors and everything in it and having it kind of like the pendulum?
Well, to be honest with you, my wife brought home one of these that was in the rubbish, all broken, and I just brought it home and duplicated it and made it out of a different kind of wood.
So you'll be able to basically restore it,
Right.
refurbish it, and here we have it.
Making copies of it since, yeah.
But you have so many other little things. I've seen NASCAR is a big theme here. I see you have a fish that has multiple parts to it. It almost looks like a puzzle to me. Tell me about crafting something like that.
Yeah, that was a patent I ran through in one of my books. It was a fish, I mean, it was all different parts, and then each one had to be sanded and adjusted just right to make what it's called is like a puzzle clock. But it's a lot of work. It takes you like a week just to make one of those.
Have we tallied a number of clocks that you've made? Have you even counted how many clocks you've made? Do you know?
No, I think I got over 150 here, and I've probably sold 150 in the past, so who knows?
And what is some of the comments that you've heard anytime you've come in here or somebody has seen your clock collection?
Well, people say it's different, and as you can't find many clocks like this, not too many places. So
Why not like a place that's why the combination of the scones and the cookies and the tea and selling your clocks? Why such an eclectic mix?
well, I make the clocks, and my wife's good at baking and doing all this stuff. She's wonderful. And she come up with the idea, so here we are.
What's probably the most unique thing that she's drawn? You're like going, wow, I can't believe she was able to draw that freehand.
Oh, just about everyone she makes, she wows me on. She does a fantastic job. I just tell her what I want, and she draws it on the wood.
What is it like in today's economic times having a store like this in downtown Whitman? I know you've been open a couple of months, and you see your amount of foot traffic. Or what's it like to be in business nowadays with the way things are with the climate?
Well, it's tough to get it going, and tough once it's going. But everyone that comes in seems to like it, and they come back. So hopefully we'll be able to make some money and make a little business out of it.
Okay. What we're going to do with each of you, we'll walk around and you'll pick out some clocks and tell us why it's your favorite clock. You'll each can show us about 5 clocks. What do you think? Is that an easy enough number, or is that too simple of a number that they're all your favorites?
That's easy.
What do you think, Carl?
Yeah, it's good enough.
Okay. We're going to take a walk around and take a look at some of the clocks that are here throughout Tea Time Cookies in downtown Whitman. We'll be back in a second. Welcome back. We're back with Danielle, and actually, we're looking at she's picked her 5. It took a few minutes, but we've picked 5 clocks that Danielle's going to be kind enough to give us descriptions of. The first one we're looking at is what?
That's a fish. It looks like a puzzle. It's not like a puzzle. It's a puzzle. It take him a week or two to make, and it's a lot of work on that.
What is it about it though? I mean, what's so unique about it? Now, it does not come apart, right?
No, it's not coming apart.
Okay.
But he have to make a part for make it. I mean, when he make it piece by piece, and that's a lot of work, and it's beautiful. That's a beauty.
Now, how many of these do you have? I know there's a couple that you have that do have the clock workings to it.
Yes, that one is plain, but we have some also. They have the clock on. If somebody suppose somebody want a clock on that one, he can do it.
Okay, so he could insert a clock. So it's ready made. I mean, it's a beautiful piece, and like I said, there are numerous ones that are here. What are we going to go on and see next in a moment?
What about Elvis?
All right, we're going to go see Elvis. We're going to walk down to Elvis in a moment. As you see, we have moved on down to the Elvis clock. This is one of Danielle's favorites, and she's actually going to kind of give us a little bit of insight into the particular clock.
Yes, this is a Elvis clock, but also I want to talk about that one is because if somebody have a family picture, we can put like that, and it's a beautiful. That make a souvenir like a wedding picture, anniversary, baby. We can put on clock also.
So you're saying you can substitute the king for a family photo?
That hurt my heart, but I won't do that like that.
I think that's a song. What do you like about this particular clock? Because there are a couple of variations of the Elvis clocks that you have here.
Because I like the picture. I love the picture a lot.
Did you pick the pictures, or did Carl have anything to do with picking any of the Elvis pictures?
I tell you the truth. A customer picked the picture because she wanted a similar clock for her mother. So she picked the picture, and I said, "Oh, let's make." My husband said, "Let's make another one." Okay.
As you see, this is explain this particular clock. This looks like a jewelry box.
Yeah, this is a jewelry box. You open.
Doesn't play any music though.
No, it doesn't. But
it has a clock.
And that's a lot of work. That all the little piece he put, and he work on that. That's a beauty.
How many hours would you say Carl invested in that particular clock?
I cannot tell you exactly. He can.
Kenny? All right, I'll have to ask him that data when we talk with him in a few minutes.
Yes. And you want to see the next one?
Yeah, what is it? Are we close to the next one?
Yes, very close.
Okay, so we pan up and we have one that has the pendulum, almost like the one that we were talking about earlier.
Yes. That one, sorry, I turned around.
That's okay.
Because I love that one. It's one that the clock he make with a lot of heart, but it's so beautiful, and you can move the mirror, and you have the shelf. You can put something, anything fancy on.
And what's that? And they have like a little statue there. What is that?
Oh, that's a statue. I put it there. Well, you can put anything you want, something precious you like, and you can match with the clock.
Okay. All right, and Danielle has picked her 5th clock, and what are we looking at?
That one. And I like that one because all the color, the wood, very nice wood, and also the second hand. It's like a double second hand turnaround.
Right.
It's beauty.
So it's all kind of like offsetting types of wood, so to speak. You like?
Yes, a lot of piece of wood, and you put something special in the middle. It's very nice.
A lot of glue.
Yes.
Now I had asked you about the one. If Carol can kind of pan down the one where it looks like it's a silhouette of a woman in it with a blue dress. You don't like that one?
I do. I do. She's different.
Why is she different?
I don't know. I like it. But
Okay.
maybe it's nice for anybody. A little girl's room.
It definitely. If my daughter wanted a clock, I would probably purchase that particular clock.
And I can make any color.
You could.
I can paint any color. He can make.
Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind. I now think it's time for us to bring Carl into the picture in a moment and ask him some of his favorite clocks. So we'll be back in a second. Well, we're back with the master clockmaker, Mr. Carl Tierney, and some of the clocks that we're going to look at are some of the ones that are probably near and dear to his heart. And as we were sitting here talking, he had revealed that he's a big NASCAR fan. Talk to us about crafting something like these clocks over here, the Tony Stewart's and the Dale Earnhardt clocks.
Yeah, I can make a lot of NASCAR clocks. I make wall clocks, or I can make a desk clock. And a lot of them have the car and the driver right on it.
Okay. Now, which one is your? I know if you make all these NASCAR clocks, that you got to be a NASCAR guy.
Yeah, I kind of like Tony Stewart.
But you can make almost any of these. I like how you got the cars here. You have different pictures.
Right, Dale Earnhardt and his father's up there. I can make any driver, any picture you want.
Okay.
Any
Do you think
driver.
Junior will ever live up to the old man's numbers?
He's not doing too good lately.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let me ask you one last question while we're on the NASCAR clocks. What is the most unique NASCAR clock that you've made so far?
I've made one that sits over here. It's made out of the cars itself. The cars are the numbers, so it took me a while to get the numbers and the cars all together.
Now, how did you pick the 12 cars? Was it just a matter of whoever was in the cup
Right.
of their points? Did you go by that, or do you go by faves? How did you decide the 12?
Well,
Of
it
course,
wasn't-
other than your own favorite.
it wasn't decided by me. It was the numbers that corresponded with the numbers on the clock.
Okay.
So some of the numbers are easy to find, some are not. Like like the 8. How you gonna find it? It's got to be Dale Earnhardt Jr. unless you get an old one. You know what I mean? But some of them were tough. But I managed to get all 12. So that's why I call that a collector's item type clock.
And now we're looking at just over his shoulder. Talk to us about those particular clocks, the Harley Davidson clocks.
Yeah, I have 3 or 4 different ones up here. There's wall ones,
Yep.
and there's metal ones. Colored, it can be black or it can be regular wood, whatever type you want.
What is it? What
there's
is?
another one.
How popular are those as far as with customers? Do you have people come in and give you different types of bikes that they'd like to either see a model or maybe pictures or maybe they just like the emblem?
Yeah, well, a lot of people drive Harleys. 9 out of 10 people, so that's why they like them. They like a nice Harley clock.
What is the most unique Harley Davidson clock that you've made so far to date?
Probably the ones with the bikes on them, like here.
Yeah.
They like them the best, I guess.
Okay, now we're looking at sports clocks, and from what I understand, Carl can make any team. Now, for some reason, I see a lot of Florida clocks.
Yeah,
I see a
just
Miami
came from
Dolphin
Florida.
clock, Carl. I feel trouble here.
Well, the reason is because I just came from Florida. Otherwise, it'd be Boston teams.
Oh.
I will
Wait,
have all
hold on.
Boston
You're not
teams.
telling me you're a bandwagon jumper, are you?
No. It's just what people want.
Okay,
That's all.
okay. Talk to me, but you can basically take any type of a logo or picture and
Yeah.
stick it in there?
Any team, any high school team, college, anything they want. I do have the Patriots over there. I will have the Red Sox and the Bruins soon.
Well,
Like I said.
if you want to draw more customers, I would think you want to do that, yeah.
But like I said, any team, any NFL team or college.
Do you have honestly, do you have, what is your favorite? Do you have Is NASCAR your favorite sport, or would you say you're a football guy? What would you say? What?
Well, my favorite is, I hate to say, wrestling. There's a wrestling club
Okay,
over
well,
there.
okay. We can get to that. We can get to that in a moment.
But I like wrestling mostly, and the Patriots. I watch the Patriots. So.
So if anybody wanted, let's say holidays coming up, a birthday, not a bad idea maybe to give you a call ahead of time and say, hey,
I have dot clocks. I have domino clocks. Any kind of sport I can make it.
Okay, well, we're back and we're here with Carl. Carl has picked his fourth set of clocks. Carl is no longer just doing one clock at a time, but we're kind of doing series, and we're kind of aiming at the kids here with the different, you get Miss Piggy, you get Elmo. Tell me about these clocks.
These clocks are beautiful. My wife draws them. I cut them out, and she paints them. We can do any kids' clocks at all. There's SpongeBob, Dora, any of them. And she does a beautiful job.
How much time is put into one of these, like these particular clocks? How many man hours are into them?
Probably it takes you about maybe 4 or 5 days, but that's just working an hour or two on each one, so maybe about 8 hours or so.
Okay, it wasn't easy. We walked around the place about 6 times between fruit and sandwiches and you name it. But we're actually looking at, talk to us about these 2 pieces of wood right now.
Well, this piece of wood here is a driftwood from Florida. It was in the Florida Seas, and some girlfriend of mine gave it to me, and he asked me if I could do something with it. So I made a clock out of it. And this particular wood is a redwood. Almost looks like the shape of Alf's head, I think. But that also is from a piece of tree. If you get any wood laying around like this and you want something done to it, I can also make a clock out of it. Or if someone has an old clock that needs repairing, they can bring it down and I can put new works in and make it run again.
So not only could you refurbish something, not only can you create, but you can refurbish and repair as well.
Yes.
Wow, you're like a one-stop clock guy.
Well, I try. I just get them running. I don't, do miracles.
Right.
I just get them running. If they need new works, I put new works in. That's all.
What happens if you run out of space to put all these clocks?
Well, there's a big store next door we're looking at.
Well, we thought we would ask some of the customers that are here, and the first customer that we're talking with is
Walter Finch.
welcome to Tea Time Cookies, Walter.
Oh, I enjoy coming here.
What is it about this place?
I appreciate the craftsmanship of what Carl creates and also the creativity of some of the items that Danielle makes, which are very unique to Tea Time Cookies.
What was the first thing you ever tried when you walked into Tea Time Cookies?
I think it was a scone. She makes the best scones I ever had.
What is it about her scones that are probably the tops in this area?
Well, they're nice and big and plump, and as you can see, I love food. And
That makes 2 of us, Walter.
fresh cranberries, the fresh blueberries she makes, anything she makes is unbeatable.
What would you say is probably one of your favorite clocks, looking around the room?
Well, I got to tell you, to be honest, I love the submarine sandwich clock.
That is kind of a unique type of a clock.
Yeah, it sure is. I love submarine sandwiches, and if I could give some more suggestions to Carl, I'd have a T-bone steak. I love food, and it reminds me of the old sub shops and the old butcher shops that used to make all these things in days gone by.
That is, now that you mention it, that is quite an eye catcher, and it makes me kind of hungry right now. Maybe I might have to have one of those giant plump scones. Anything else you want to kind of maybe add as being a customer here to Tea Time Cookies?
Well, I got to tell you, I'm not dressed for this place, I don't think, but I know I don't have to dress up to come in here. It's a very classy, elegant place to be in, and it's a place you can look at all the nice china in here, and as well as the pastries that are made. And like I said, I enjoy and admire the craftsmanship of all the clocks.
What drew you to come in here in the first place?
A new store, curiosity, and she does great window paintings, and I couldn't resist coming in to see what kind of creativity was in here.
Whitman. And we are speaking with
Virginia.
Virginia. What is it about this place that makes you want to keep coming back?
Just awesome. Each time I come in, I see something else, and that's always been a favorite. But there's always something that's absolutely unbelievable. And then when I hear the stories behind them, it's even more so.
Really? What's the one particular clock in here that that caught your eye instantly?
This one behind us.
Okay.
The horses, the nature, and the colors, and just the awesomeness of the whole. It just feel really beautiful, beautifully done.
And what else? What other part of the ambiance, other than the clocks, that you enjoy?
I love the way they had the settings of the tables, and I was in one time when they had small children, and the children were sitting at the small ones, and the grown-ups were sitting at the others, and it was just so delightful. Everybody had such a good time.
How delightful is it to have a place like this in downtown Whitman?
Oh, marvelous! It's a place to come. It really is. And the food, the tea, everything. And I must say, I had the broccoli soup today. It was unbelievable. Best I've ever had.
It's not fair, Virginia.
Truly, truly.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. Anything in closing?
Oh, just thank you very much for coming and enjoying this, because every one of us really enjoys it so much. Thank you.
We're here now with Peg O'Brien. She's one of the faithful here at Tea Time Cookies. Hi, Peg. How are you?
That's right, I'm fine.
Talk to us about the first time you walked into Tea Time Cookies.
Oh, I was so impressed with it. And and her scones are just so good that I'm here almost every day for my coffee and scones, my cranberry especially.
What is it about the scones that are different than any other scones?
I think I've had a couple of, this past few weeks, I've tried other scones and nothing compares with Danielle's.
What was it about walking in here and seeing all of these clocks?
I really was taken back to see so much. And I just think it's a great little place to come to and have a cup of tea or have some coffee. And she just makes everything so nice. And I hope everything's going to go great for her.
Had a chance to speak with several of the people who came in and even take a look around here at some of the clocks that you enjoy and the customers, some of the things your customers enjoy. Anything in closing? We'll start with you, Danielle.
Yes, I welcome everybody to come try our scone and cookie. And I tell you the truth, I know CC all the clock. I've been in Whitman for a year and a half, and I think it's a beautiful town and people there. A lot of diplomacy, and it's a beautiful place. They have a store.
Oh, you're going to have a tough following here, Carl. What do you think?
Just come check it out.
Well said. It's another On the Road here on Whitman Hanson Community Access. Come on down. Tea Time Cookies.